Hello, everyone. How are you doing on this beautiful Tuesday? I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. This is your founder coming in again with Helping Hands Credit Solution. Just wanted to bring you guys some more free information. A lot of times the reason that we end up in the positions that we're in is because we do not know, or we may be following someone else and we don't know exactly the ins and outs. We're just looking from the outside in and not knowing how to do things. So, which brings me to the title that we actually want to talk about today. And what we want to talk about today is how will disputing everything on my credit report affect me? It's a lot of people that literally are told or believe that, hey, I can just dispute everything. Hey, sis, thanks for being on. I can dispute everything that's on my credit report. That's all you have to do. I've actually heard several people say it. I've heard people say that credit repair is a ripoff because you can just do it yourself. So I want to go ahead and address that, because I'm sure that some people have really thought that, you may have just never said that to me or anything like that. But hey, I keep it real. So let's go ahead and discuss those things, okay? So one of the things that I want you guys to keep in mind is that whenever you are disputing an account, okay, your credit score, let's back up a little bit for those who have not been on the last two lives and we learned about credit score and credit history. So let's back up a little bit. Pretend like this is y'all's first time watching it. So what happens is your credit score is actually made up of the accounts that are actually in your credit report, okay? So if you have some people have no credit score and they wonder, well, how come I don't have a credit score? How come these two bureaus I have a credit score, but I don't have a credit score for this other bureau? Well, the reason being is because you may have credit with two other bureaus where the original creditor is actually reporting to those bureaus. The original creditors, as well as the debt collecting agencies, they do not have to. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Know why I had cut out. But what I was saying before it actually had cut out is that with the bureaus or with the creditors or original creditors, sorry, let me rewind. The original creditors or the debt collecting agencies, they do not have to report on all three bureaus. I'm not sure if you guys are even aware that they actually are charged each time that they actually put something on someone's credit report. Okay, so that's why sometimes it's very difficult for you to get certain items removed, even when working with a credit repair company, because the credit bureaus do not work for us. Okay, the credit bureaus actually work for the consumers. I mean, not the consumers. They actually work for those businesses and stuff. We think that they're in it for us, but no, they're not in it for us. They're in it for the money. Okay, so first thing, need to think about that. So back to what I was saying. So you have two things. Mop. So I hope you're not gonna mop with that. No. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm not sure why it keeps cutting out, but thank you for being on. I'll keep walking around and where hopefully I can get a better reception. Okay, back to what I was saying. So the original creditor or the original creditor as well as the debt collecting agencies are not required to report to all three bureaus, okay? So you need to know that first and foremost. That's why sometimes you may see one account on one bureau, but you're not seeing it on the other account, okay? So, like we stated, your credit scores is actually made up of your credit history, which are the things that's actually in your credit report, right? So, your accounts are based off of the length or your history. Whenever other lenders are actually looking, when it comes to history, they're actually looking to see how long you've actually had that account. So, a lot of times you have people that have something derogatory on their late payments that's reporting on there. For example, some people may have late payments reporting on their credit report. They may have student loans that's on their credit report, different things that they may actually have on their credit report, and they're actually wanting to get those things removed. So the first thing they do is they'll challenge anything that's derogatory on their credit report, because again, the only thing that they're looking at is that they're looking at that derogatory information that's on their credit report. So what they'll do is they'll dispute literally everything that they see on their credit report that actually appears to be negative. Well, let me tell you how that can hurt you in several ways. One, it can hurt you because depending on how many items you're actually putting on that letter when you're actually sending it to the bureaus, it can actually make it seem like it's frivolous, okay? and you do not want them to mark you in the system as being frivolous. So that's why you should not dispute a whole bunch of accounts at once. Just letting you know that off top. Also, the reason that you don't want to dispute all accounts at once or certain accounts, because like I just stated to you guys, that the accounts in your credit report actually makes up your credit score. So let's say you had an account for 5 years or whatever, and you seen something negative on it, and so you want that account removed because it's negative. Okay, well, just so you know, you disputing that account can, and 9 times out of 10 will drop your credit scores, because again, like I said, your credit score is actually made up of the items that's actually in your credit report. So if you don't have any items that's in your credit report, or you have more bad items in your credit report than you have good items, then you're kind of defeating the purpose. Another thing that a lot of people will do is that they'll challenge all of these accounts, right? First off, let me backtrack. If you are trying to establish credit or trying to build credit on your own, that is going to take time, okay? That's not something that's going to happen overnight. Building history is going to take time. The only way that that's not going to take time is if you're added on to some trade line accounts, and you can actually end up getting that time. So for instance, like let's say somebody added you on as authorized user to an account that had been 5 years old, never been late on any payments, never been high on their credit limits, and then you get added on there. On your credit report is going to show as if you actually had that account for 5 years, and you're going to actually have that history. But if you're just doing it on your own, you can still do it, but just know it is going to take you much longer, because whenever you are re-establishing credit or establishing credit, that takes years to do. That's not something that you're going to be able to do literally in 2 months. That's not something you're going to even be able to do in 3 months. If you have a goal to get a house, you have a goal to refinance your car or something like that, what these places and stuff are telling you, they're telling you that, hey, you can't get refinanced if you have this on your credit, or you can't get approved for this if you have that on your credit. So what you guys are doing is you're literally trying to dispute these things and a lot of these accounts off on yourself, and you're wondering why they're still remaining on, or they actually come off and then they come right back on. The reason that you want to make sure that you're hiring somebody that actually knows the credit laws is because that's how we actually fight for your rights. That's how we actually win to get accounts that's derogatory, inaccurate, outdated, or incomplete off of your credit report. Now, no credit repair company legally should be removing any type of accounts that you just didn't pay the payments on because you told them that, hey, I ain't making the payments on that no more. I don't appreciate how they treated me. Well, honestly, whenever you're trying to reestablish or you're trying to establish credit, you can't do things like that, okay? You must pay all of your bills on time. Another thing, whenever you're challenging these accounts, and even if you're successful in getting these accounts removed off of your credit report, well, another thing that you're not realizing is that you're still liable for that debt. Just because you don't see it on Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion does not mean that you do not still owe that debt. A lot of people do not know that there are over 100 bureaus. People are just familiar with the 3 main bureaus, which is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Okay, but I want you to be educated to know that there is more than just 3 bureaus. So that's why sometimes you may not even see an account on Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion, and then you actually go and apply for a house or a car, basically somewhere with a major bank, and then they pull, and then they see that, hey, you owe Citibank, and then you're like, well, how do I owe a Citibank? I disputed that, and I had got that off my report. No, you actually got it off your Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion report. There are still other bureaus that you need to work with to get that off, okay? So again, the whole thing, the reason of having this conversation today was to let you know the ins and outs pretty much of disputing on your own. Again, I'm not saying that you cannot dispute on your own, because you have some people that are very educated and that are very knowledgeable, and they know exactly what to do. But you have some people that are listening to what other people are saying, and then they're actually trying to do it. And then when the bureau sends them a certain type of letter back or asks them certain questions, then they're actually stuck there, okay? So these are things that I want you to think about, okay? Again, make sure that you know your own laws in your state. You know the rights, okay, according to the FCRA's laws, whenever you are going to actually dispute yourself, as well as make sure you are very educated when it comes to credit, because you can end up hurting yourself more than helping yourself just by listening to what other people are saying, which is disputing all of the anything that's actually on your credit report. Another thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about. I know a lot of my people are very, very, I'm going to call y'all conservative, okay? Other people call y'all cheap, but I'm going to call y'all conservative. So, those people that are very conservative, a lot of you guys are monitoring your credit with CreditWise, which is through Capital One Bank, or you're monitoring your credit through Credit Karma. And some of you guys may even be with Experian or Equifax, okay? Well, let me just let you know, put you guys in on a secret. Even if you're monitoring your credit with whoever you're monitoring with, all of the credit monitoring sites or bureaus that actually give you the option to file a dispute online, okay? Give you the option to go ahead and file that dispute. I would never recommend a person to file any type of dispute online. Again, I say I would never recommend that anyone files any type of dispute regarding their credit report online. I'm pretty sure you want to know why, right? Well, first off, the reason y'all trying to file it online is because y'all are trying to do a quick fix, okay? That's the reason. But if you really thought about it, why would you file something online when you can't even keep a paper trail of your own dispute? That's number one as to why you should not file anything online that you cannot keep up with, okay, for yourself, in case it got lost, in case they said you said something, anything like that, okay? Definitely do not want to do that. The next thing is that whenever you're disputing online, there are a lot of disclosures that's actually on there that you guys just agree to, because you're like, hey, I'm not finna read all these private policies and practices. There's just too much to read. Okay, well, in those privacy and practices on the majority of the places that you're monitoring your credit with, you actually are waiving certain rights, okay? Keyword waiving means that you agree to not do a certain thing, okay? So you do not want to do that. You do not want to waive any type of rights whenever you are fighting for your rights when it comes to credit repair. And the reason you don't want to fight any of your rights or whatever whenever you're, I forgot what I was just getting ready to say. What was I getting ready to say? I'm sorry, I forgot that dang I'm quick what I was getting ready to what I was on. All these calls and stuff is out here, got me kind of thrown off. Oh yeah, we were talking about the rights. Okay, so you're waiving your rights whenever you dispute online, in those disclosures and stuff that's actually on there, and that verifying print that you say, hey, I don't want to read. That is very important that you read, because you're waiving certain rights, okay? And depending on the company, will actually tell you which rights you're actually waiving. So definitely I would encourage you the next time that you're actually on there and you're thinking about filing an online dispute, that you actually read that. Another reason why you do not want to file an online dispute is because it limits you so much. Like, you can only choose from their options. So it doesn't give you the option to actually type in detail what it is that you actually need to say. Okay, that's another reason why you do not want to do that. Another reason why you don't want to dispute online is because there are certain things that you can't even dispute online, okay? So you would think that you done disputed it, and they're not able to dispute it. Like for a fact with Experian, you cannot dispute inquiries online, okay? They want you to call in. And then I wouldn't even recommend that you guys are calling in making disputes, because again, you have no way of keeping track of that. They are the ones that's recording and monitoring that call. Unless you calling in, you monitoring it, and you able to keep track of that and keep it in the cloud and all that kind of stuff, which is extra work or whatever. But if that's what you want to do, then hey. But I'm all for the old school, okay? I'm 34 years young, but I'm still old school, and I still believe in the regular way, putting something in the mail, writing it, okay? And that's how you send stuff to people. So I hope I've been a blessing to y'all today. I hope I've dropped in some informative information when it comes to how disputing can affect you. You can check us out on our website at www.helpinghandcreditsolutions.com. Also, please feel free to go to Google Helping Hands Credit Solutions to look us up, and you can schedule your free consultation call. Right now, I am giving out free consultation calls as well as free audits for a limited time right now. So you better take advantage of it while you can. Bye-bye.